give a man a feast, but teach them how to feast. Communities in action, that's the way to go. Communities in action, that's the way to go. You don't give a man a fish, but teach them how to fish.
Hello and welcome to the program Communities in Action. This dump site in the outskirts of Bulawayo has been given a name, Ngozi Mine, because of the dangers that the people scavenging here face. The good news now is that waste management in the city of Kings is soon to be turned into a profitable business that also reduces the effects of climate change. Unlike in developed countries, waste management continues to be a major challenge for developing nations, including the African continent. This is despite the advent of technology that enables recycling of waste and converting waste products into energy, which also helps mitigate against climate change. Dump sites in Zimbabwe are emitting ozone-depleting gases, while fluids flowing from the dump sites are contaminating water sources and causing waterborne diseases. Thanks to a team of Zimbabweans based in the diaspora that has come up with a waste management project which is just about to start in the city of Bulawayo.
This project was a brainchild really of our company in conjunction with comz, where we were contracted to do a baseline study on waste management systems across Africa, 3 countries that were chosen: Zambia, Zimbabwe and Kenya. So we did a research in 2012 on how cities are managing their waste across Africa, because waste management is a problem in Africa. The cities are turning into something else because of that. So our research was mainly based on the 3 cities of Mombasa, Bulawayo and Lusaka. It was clear that there could be a better way of managing waste in Africa. First, to add value to the waste that we throw away. Secondly, to benefit the communities that live around the place where you throw away the waste. And thirdly, to protect the environment that is affected by the waste that we throw away every day. So basically, we found that there was a case for a business case actually for waste management in Africa. This we're looking at specifically waste to energy. If you look at Bulawayo, our research found out that Bulawayo, the waste composition of Bulawayo is quite interesting compared to the rest of Africa. In Bulawayo, plastic is the predominant waste that we have. So here in this case it makes up to between 40 and others have said probably 50% of the waste that we throw. So if you look around here, you can see this is plastic, and imagine how many layers going down have been compacted into this.
At the moment, tons of plastic waste from our dump sites are being exported at a giveaway price to some of our neighbors who have had a better appreciation of how to turn it to better use. The Bulawayo project will also involve engaging people currently surviving from recycling some of the waste they collect from the dump sites.
We looked at the economic case, but we also looked at the social case. As you can see, there are people in the background who are working, making a living out of this place. So our research had to consider those people. And for this model that we are bringing here to work, we had to consider how we can involve these people going forward. So that is another element of our research which we have done and which we have incorporated into the model that we're going to use in this place. And thirdly, we had to look at the environment. Everybody talks about climate change today, but very few people are aware that throwing away rubbish, as you do after eating at home or after using stuff, it affects the environment. For example, when you look at this place, a lot of rubbish has been compacted here. There are processes that are going on underground in the absence of oxygen because of the compacting. So we talk of greenhouse gas emissions from this place. So a lot of gases are being emitted from this place into the atmosphere, and you know how that affects the atmosphere, and that is one of the causes, according to scientists, of global warming. So there are so many issues environmental wise. We've got issues of, for example, in Harare we've had these outbreaks of cholera. Those are issues that are real. Those are issues that can be traced back to places like landfills, places like dump sites.
What kind of product is this team focusing on producing from the waste here in Bulawayo?
Our main product, because of the prevalence of plastic, will be diesel. That is the first product that we'll be producing. So we are looking at anything from between 78,000 to about 110,000 liters of diesel per day being produced at our plant. Now, we will also be, because the difference between most waste-to-energy plants and the plant that we are bringing here is the fact that we separate and derive value from each type of waste. So from the plastic, like I said, we are going to get diesel, and then from the organic stuff we are going to use what are called anaerobic biodigesters, where we're going to treat all the organics in the absence of oxygen, and we're going to produce a gas which can be used for cooking in the houses. That gas can also be further processed to produce LPG gas, which can be used to fuel vehicles. So that will be the second product. The third product that we will produce on the third phase of this project will be derived from something we call refuse-derived fuel, whereby the rest of the waste is compacted into a matter that there's got the same calorification value as coal, but has got no carbon, so it does not affect the environment. So the same processes that are used for thermal power stations, we will use that. Instead of coal, we'll be using RDF, and that will produce our heat. That will produce steam, and that steam turns our turbines, and we'll be producing something up to about 11 megawatts of electricity that can be fed into the national grid, that can be used specifically to power specific industries, specific areas. It all depends on what arrangements will be made specifically for that. Now, before I forget, there is the process of the treatment of organics will also result in another byproduct, which is the compost, which we call organic fertilizer. We are kind of pioneers in Africa, but in Europe we have traveled wide. In Europe and in Asia, we have actually seen this particular plant in action. We know it works. We know that the study that we did before we started on this, before we actually came up with the final model, was just to make sure that when we bring the technology from Europe to Africa, we adapt it to fit the African context. A lot of people fail because they just go to Europe, they go to America, they go to Asia, they see something working there, and they just lift it up and put it in Africa and expect it to work.
Communities in action. That's the way to go. Communities in action. Communities in action. That's the way to go. Communities in action. That's the way to go.
After over 5 years of negotiations with the city fathers, the team has finally clinched a deal by signing a contract with the city council.
The contract that I've signed with the Bulawayo City Council gives us access to all the waste within the Bulawayo City Council municipal area for the next 25 years. It has a further 5-year extension. The access to the waste that we have includes the waste that is within the fresh waste which is being brought to the dump sites, as well as the waste which is in the decommissioned landfill sites, like the one which we are standing in here. This is a fresh one, but there are 2 other decommissioned landfill sites that we will have access to and dig, so that we can bring up the waste for processing. We will be working with the municipality of the city of Bulawayo. They will be using their own trucks. We are going to capacitate them, because what we've realized is that the collection rate within the municipality is at between 45 to 50%. So we will provide them with additional vehicles, which will mean that they will be able to collect more than 50%. We will bring in our own trucks, so that we will be able to mop up any other waste residue that remains in other parts of the city.
What does this speak to the cleanliness of the city? Do you mean it will improve after your project is taken off?
Of course, we are going to bring in 21st century waste management techniques to Bulawayo. This project is going to be the first of its kind in Africa. The new innovations we are bringing to waste management are going to be the first in Africa. We're going to bring in smart bins. We're going to use drone technology. Drone technology is going to identify, so that anyone who's going to be throwing waste within the city, they can be identified quickly, and the law enforcement agents can be able to get to them, as soon as possible.
This project is going to really help us in solving 3 of the country's biggest challenges. The first one is the issue to do with the green jobs. It's going to create employment, right, to the city. It's going to, the facility, I think, is going to, bring a lot of investment, money to the country. Where we were saying now, as the Zimbabwean Climate Change Coalition, we need to assist or complement the government effort in luring investors to come and actually invest in renewables. So this is a welcome move. Then the second challenge that this project is going to help is in terms of, clean renewable energy. Right, where we are going to reduce our waste, where we are going to convert the so-called waste into energy. So we are going to get clean energy, because this is a mitigatory measure. Because if you look at our NDCs, that is nationally determined contributions, waste management is one of the issues that actually we are trying to deal with, and also renewable energy, because we are encouraging our communities or even our industries to go renewables. So it's one of the issues that we are saying this is a move in the right direction. Then the other thing, the third challenge, the climate change. We are grappling with the issues of climate change, the impacts of climate change as a nation. So we are saying this is going to, help us a lot in mitigating the climate change, impacts in Bulawayo. And maybe we are also expecting that maybe the company is going to, extend the project into other cities, because this is, going to assist in mitigating the effects of climate change in these areas. Yes.
The company has also said that they are going to assist council with resources like vehicles to collect garbage and state-of-the-art bins and other monitoring facilities to ensure that there is no garbage in the city. How do you see that move?
It is a very good move, that is, going in the right direction. Why am I raising this issue? We have been actually having challenges with cholera in our country, because cholera is the result of poor waste management. So if they provide such kind of transport and state-of-the-art bins and so forth, it will reduce health hazards that are actually caused by poor waste management. So that's, for us, it's a plus. It's a move in the right direction. So we really need, such kind of companies. We need more investors to come and invest in such areas.
Communities in action. That's the way to go. Communities in action. That's the way to go. Communities in action. That's the way to go.
We are told the project, the first of its kind in Africa, is going to be a tourist attraction for the city of Bulawayo.
It's going to create more like a tourist attraction for Bulawayo. This is the first of its kind in Africa. Obviously, it's going to the fuel we're going to produce, the gas we're going to produce, especially from the fuel. Zimbabwe is facing a problem of fuel at the moment. We are going to save the country a lot of foreign exchange by bringing this fuel. We're going to produce around about 100,000 liters a day. If we compound that and we do this project nationally, we can see the country saving, not less than $20 million a year in foreign currency.
The project has been divided into 3 phases, with phase 1 just starting.
The operational phases are divided into 3. The first phase is the phase that we're in now. We're going to be doing what is called the FEED study, which is the front-end engineering design, where our engineers are going to come to this landfill site we are here this morning, and the 2 other landfill sites which have been decommissioned, to establish the waste that has been buried and obviously look at the fresh waste which is coming. This first phase will go for 6 months. We are hoping that by the end of 6 months we'll be able to produce the fuel. The second phase is where we'll be looking now at production of gas. That will be about after, say, 18 months. Then the third phase is the last phase, whereby we'll be producing electricity towards the end of the 3rd year.
We understand we've got a renewable energy conference coming soon. Do you think these are some of the people who could attend such a conference?
Yes, they are. They are very important. Why? Because we are saying during these conferences, what we are trying to do is to facilitate investment in the renewable energy sector, to discuss realistic and expeditious implementation measures in terms of better environmentally compatible energy sources and systems. So it's one of these, issues that we're actually saying, well, if we get someone who can be able to really, invest in waste to energy management, then that's, a very good, a welcome move for us. It's a plus on our behalf. So we really need such kind of, companies to come and actually exhibit and showcase what they are capable of doing, so that, others who actually haven't started engaging our government can also start the process.
But who are these people who have come up with such an exciting project for Bulawayo?
Well, most of us actually, 99% of our team are people either born in Bulawayo or grew up in Bulawayo or lived in Bulawayo, working here at one point or so of their time. So we have got a very diverse, a group of people. My specialty is environmental management, also environmental technology. We have got our chairman, who is a finance specialist, especially for big projects. This is the gentleman that has been responsible for the structuring of the finance for this project, Mr. Takawira. We have got a project management specialist, Mr. Maisa. That is his specialty, managing big projects, making sure that the standards are kept high, making sure that deadlines are met, making sure that everybody knows what they're doing, basically. Mm-hmm. We have got biochemists in our team, Mr. Mtetwa. We've got chemical engineers, Ms. Malunga. We've got IT specialists, Mr. Timiri. We have got communications people like Mrs. Bebe. It's a combination of people. And what we do as well, we have got in our team people we call associate consultants that we call upon for specific issues. For example, we've got Dr. Guest. He's based in England. He specializes in carbon trading, which is one element of this project that we are going to really work on. We've got people like Dr. Mbiba, who are the people that modeled the whole sort of conceptualize the whole model that we are using today. His specialty is urban and rural planning. He's based in Oxford in England. He's a lecturer there. So we have got quite a diverse group of people working on this project. Yeah.